Beloved, there's a kind of pain that doesn't scream, it doesn't collapse you, it doesn't announce itself. It whispers, it lingers, it lives in the spaces between the thoughts you don't say out loud and the decisions you make that don't feel fully aligned, and the life you keep calling fine even though it hasn't felt like home for years. This pain has a name: self-abandonment. And before we go any further, I want to say this with absolute gentleness. You did not abandon yourself on purpose. You abandoned yourself to stay safe. You abandoned yourself to stay loved. You abandoned yourself to not lose people you cared about. You abandoned yourself because you were never taught how to stay with yourself. This episode is not about blame. It is about finally acknowledging the ache you've lived with and showing you the way back home. Let's walk slowly, beloved. This one goes deep. Part 1. What self-abandonment actually looks like. It's not what you think. Most people think self-abandonment is dramatic, a meltdown, a crisis, a moment of breaking. But the truth? Self-abandonment is usually quiet. It looks like saying I'm fine when you're not, pretending something doesn't hurt, shrinking your truth to keep the peace, ignoring the soft no inside of you, dismissing your own needs because others have it worse, doing what's expected even when your soul is screaming for a different direction, staying in environments where your soul is slowly dimming, choosing peace for the room instead of peace for yourself, forcing yourself to be okay with things you're not okay with, silencing the parts of you that want more, need more, and deserve more. Self-abandonment is not a moment, it's a pattern. A pattern learned early, a pattern rehearsed often, a pattern that becomes invisible until one day it becomes unbearable. Part 2. How you learn to leave yourself. Beloved, you didn't abandon yourself because you lacked strength. You abandoned yourself because you were taught that being agreeable was safer than being authentic. Being quiet was safer than being passionate. Being helpful was safer than being honest. Being small was safer than being seen. Being selfless was safer than having needs. Being quote-unquote easy was safer than being real. You learn to leave yourself because that's what your environment's required. Children don't choose authenticity when connection is threatened. They choose belonging every time. And those patterns carry into adulthood until something in your soul whispers, I can't keep leaving myself to make others comfortable. That whisper is where this episode begins. Part 3. How the body signals self-abandonment. Self-abandonment does not just live in the mind, it shows up in the body. The body becomes the narrator of all the places you've left yourself behind. The signals look like tension in the chest, heaviness in the stomach, emotional numbness, chronic fatigue, overthinking, tightness in the throat, a sense of falling behind in your own life. A constant internal pressure to perform or please, the quiet sadness that has no clear cause. These sensations are not symptoms of weakness, they're symptoms of separation, the distance between your truth and your choices. Your body knows when you've abandoned yourself. It always knows. It always tells the truth. Part 4. The moment you notice. The soul flinch. This is a specific moment, an internal flinch that reveals you're abandoning yourself. It's subtle, but it's unmistakable. It's the moment when you say yes, when your heart whispers no. You smile and your stomach tightens. You show up and your spirit withdraws. You agree and something inside collapses a little. You stay silent and your chest feels heavy. You go along with something and your breath shortens. This flinch is your soul saying, please stop leaving me here. Not in anger, not in judgment, but in longing.